Good morning. Welcome back. Man, the Rangers suck. Holy shit. Wow. What a terrible night. Chef, I don't know, man. What a disgrace. Like a bunch of men's league, bush league guys out there yesterday. How's everyone doing? Good morning. Good morning. Margin, if your if your position is in the money, you can call your broker to exercise the option. If it's out of the money, then I'm not sure. I would still call your broker. Good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Turn into a Leafs fan? Oh, I gotta be a Panthers fan now, man. I gotta be a Panthers fan now. Maybe I'll go to a game. I don't know. Maybe I'll find the interest. It would have been great if the Rangers would have played the Panthers. If they would have beat the Hurricanes in the next round, and then I would call your broker, Margin. You sold You sold a put. Yeah, call your broker to see what the situation is. I don't know. I was on the phone with my broker like every day when I had SBNY. All right. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Yesterday was a nice day for me. Not my biggest gains, but a clean day. AMD downside, SPY puts. So nice plays. Clean. It was pretty much not that much action yesterday, just sort of channeling between two levels. The two levels we talked about here in the live stream, that 13,350 on NASDAQ, that 13,260, and then on the ES, it was around 4,200 to 4,175. So just a really tight consolidation, and I think we should expect similar action today. Some big economic data tomorrow, as you guys know, FOMC, and usually the market does not like to make big moves before FOMC. And if it does make a big move, it's very difficult to trust because a big move today can be totally invalidated tomorrow. So hard to trust any type of major move. It's a scalper's market still. I would still look at any move you get today as a scalp. I would not try to guess what happens tomorrow. Guessing what happens on FOMC can, maybe you're right. You make a lot of money. But if you continue to do that and you continue to think that that's a winning strategy, I can guarantee you that you'll be out of the game before you know it. So not interested in guessing what happens on economic data, but we have to understand that it's definitely a market moving event. So we have to watch out for that. So yeah, it's really the same thing as yesterday, right? Same levels, same idea. The only really big change is Nvidia. So Nvidia is really the only big change day over day. Nvidia, as you guys saw, had a insane upside push over that 280 level. We'll definitely break this one down today. What a squeeze. So just a big break of 280, really big squeeze to the upside, and it tapped a very important weekly level. So I was talking about this with the chat yesterday. Big weekly level resistance that it hit yesterday and is starting to show some weakness off of. So this is a level to watch today on Nvidia. We'll talk about that. What else? Some interesting setups on Tesla, Apple, some nice setups out there. But overall, I'm not expecting much with FOMC tomorrow. That's my concern. I'm not expecting much with major economic data tomorrow. So we'll have to sort of keep our expectations low, I think, and take profits when we get them today. That's going to continue to be my mantra. Take profits when I get them, like you guys saw in that trade yesterday on AMD, just sort of taking profits as we get the move. All right, so 8:05, got about 1,000 people in here. If you guys could, before we get started, press that like button. That helps. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, let's do it. So today, economic earnings calendar. This morning, I think we had Uber, if I'm not mistaken. But let me go ahead and pull up the economic calendar. Get that going for us here. We can go ahead and take a quick look at this. So today, U.S. job openings, factory orders, really nothing that's really market moving in my opinion. It looks like I've been looking at too much F1. I actually have this. That's interesting. I have a Fanatec racing setup. Do I have? I have this. I don't have this wheel. Yeah, Fanatec's great. If you guys have a Fanatec product, if you guys like F1, if you ever feel like buying a sim setup, worth it. Anyways, so Tuesday, today, U.S. job openings, factory orders, I don't think much to really worry about. You can watch out for it. If you're in a position at 10 a.m., watch out for volatility. So pay attention to that. Wednesday, tomorrow, that's the big stuff, right? That is the big stuff. Federal Reserve, FOMC statement, Powell talking at 2:30. This is what everyone's going to be watching. 2 o'clock, 2:30 tomorrow. That's the big event. Baku was terrible. Yeah, Baku was insanely boring. Insanely boring. But Miami this weekend, in the hometown, I'll be there. Miami's going to be fun. Tuesday, Thursday. This is Thursday, May 4th. U.S. productivity, U.S. trade deficit, initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims. And then Friday, employment report, unemployment rate, hourly wages year over year, consumer credit. So I think, this week will be mostly focused on FOMC. I don't think you'll see like an FOMC move and then it get reversed by jobless claims or unemployment rate. I'm pretty sure whatever you see here on Wednesday, tomorrow, will probably sort of be the main driver of the rest of the week. So not much today. I would assume pretty choppy. That's my assumption coming into today. And then tomorrow we get that real move on FOMC. So keep an eye on that. On the earnings side of things, let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. Earnings side. Yeah, I'm a Red Bull fan. I have been for a very long time. Not just bandwagon since they've been good for like 5 years now. And honestly, it's starting to get boring. I would like there to be at least a fight with some team up at the top. It's not fun just watching the Red Bulls fly past everyone every race. They need to change something. All right. So today is Tuesday. This morning, Uber, Pfizer, BP, Marriott, Marathon Oil. So not really anything major. I think Uber beat and raised. I think they're up this morning. After hours today is the big stuff. AMD, that's going to be important. Starbucks, Ford. I don't really think Ford's very important, but AMD is really the main one today to keep an eye out for. NXPI did well yesterday on earnings, and I think, we'll see if that has any effect on the semiconductors today. But they did report yesterday, MicroStrategy as well, and then AMD this morning. AMD after hours today. Tomorrow, CVS, Yum Brands, Wingstop, nothing major. Generac, Qualcomm is interesting for tomorrow. That is another semiconductor name. Thursday, Datadog, interesting. Really, the main thing on Thursday is Apple, right? Apple, Shopify, Coinbase, Block, DraftKings, Lyft, Carvana. So some decent names there. And everyone's favorite name, AMC, on Friday. So Apple, probably the main event on Thursday. That's what I would be watching. All right. So Tesla inverse head and shoulder. This is interesting. Interesting little hourly setup on Tesla. Do I trust an inverse head and shoulder? Am I just going to go mindlessly long on Tesla just because there's an inverse head and shoulder? No. But, interesting to watch. Something maybe a scalping opportunity on Tesla. Nvidia 280. Definitely something, that happened yesterday. A big breakout over 280 on Nvidia. Hard to chase it up here, right? I think you need to pull back to 280. I think that's going to be the retest level to look for, but something to watch today, definitely. Meta 242 break. This was a big break yesterday on Meta. Definitely some potential momentum today if we hold above. So watching 242. Netflix channel is still very interesting to me. Netflix had some very aggressive moves yesterday. Rejection of the top side of the channel. Huge demand at the bottom side of the channel. So intraday yesterday, we saw that channel come to life on Netflix. Something I'll be watching to see if it breaks above. Amazon, extreme weakness yesterday, 105 break. We talked about this in the pre-market live stream. Very nice downside after that break. Watching Google, and then Apple, this interesting ascending triangle formation. I'm not a big guy that trades off these formations, but an interesting setup here. Very clear to see into earnings. So let's get started. NASDAQ. We talked about this 13,350 yesterday, and it definitely was respected yesterday. So here's the 4-hour chart on the NASDAQ. Sorry about that. Let me go back. Here's the 4-hour chart on the NASDAQ. The April high that we talked about is 13,350. The high of this candle right here is 13,348.75. That is the exact high of this candle right here. Yesterday, we pushed right into that 13,348.75, right into that 13,350, and we started to have some really weak candles, right? This is the price action that you need to pay attention to, right? And start to sort of get your context clues. Start to read the price action. Look at the candles above 13,350 yesterday. Look at these wick rejections, every attempt that we had above 13,350. I know a lot of you guys in the chat caught this downside. It's not that difficult. I guess I can't say it's not that difficult because I don't want to make trading sound easy because it's not. But, if you read this price action and if you're paying attention to supply, right, this is a very catchable downside move. So very nice supply yesterday. This is our exact level from the live stream yesterday. We moved down into demand, held the demand, popped into the supply rejection, and we held demand once again in the pre-market today. So it's pretty much the same story, right? We're watching 13,350, we're watching 13,260, and we're just going to watch the supply and we're going to watch the demand. If we move down into this level, we have to be careful of a demand bounce. If we move higher into 13,350, we have to be careful of a supply rejection. Until this channel breaks, we respect that channel. Do I expect us to break this channel before a major economic event like FOMC tomorrow? Probably not, right? Not really. So 4 o'clock is right. 4 o'clock is right here. So do we just do this all day? That is very possible, right? Very, very possible. So 13,350, 13,260. I don't really have much else to share with you here. I mean, if you try to trade in this, if you try to play in the chop here today, I would say, let the odds be forever in your favor. It's really, you just got to think back, right? You got to take a second and you got to think back. Am I upset that I missed out on trading this, right? Am I upset today that I missed out on trading this? Am I upset? Am I going to be upset if I miss out on a chop fest move between this channel? No, right? No, you're not. Right? You're not going to look back at today and say, wow, I missed out on a whole lot of stuff, man. I could have traded this channel like crazy. Not really, right? I would say you're better off in the long term not trading this and just simply waiting for this to either break and hold above or break and retest to the downside, right? I think if you avoid this and you just wait for these really juicy opportunities outside of the channel, I think you're going to do better in the long term. So am I that interested in trading this channel today? No. If I see something that I like, maybe I'll take a short-term scalp on it, but I'm not going to be getting, sweaty in this channel today. So 13,350. All right, 13,260. If you want to trade this, watch the demand, watch the supply. That's all you can do. Until this breaks, that's all you can do. If we go to the QQQ, it's the same story. Yesterday, the key level we talked about was 321.50. It's pretty much this 321.50 to 321.75 area. I had it at 321.50, which I still think is important, but it looks like we're having a little bit more reaction at 321.75. So I go to the 15-minute chart. This is the discrepancy we talked about yesterday, right? Yesterday we talked about that discrepancy on the QQQ versus the NASDAQ. And so yesterday we came down into these previous lows, previous highs, push back into it, demand, push back down into it, demand, right? So today, what are we watching? We're watching Thursday, Friday highs as potential demand. We're not going to short into that. And we're watching 323.50 as supply. So supply, demand, right? That's our channel, 321.50, 321.75 to around 323.50. We watch that channel. We play the channel until it breaks. If I go back to the NASDAQ real quick and I go to the hourly chart, I think, it makes sense for us to get back down to this 13,180, right? I really do want to see this pullback here. I could even think, I could even make the case for us to give back some of this major upside. Obviously, FOMC tomorrow is going to be the deciding factor of that, so it probably won't be as clean and easy as, some may want. But when we zoom out on this hourly chart, this is definitely an extension. It could hold up here. It could just be a nice stair step higher. FOMC may rocket this again, very possible. But, a pullback at this point off this major 13,350 should not be taken as a surprising thing. So if we do break yesterday's lows, I would say you can get that move into 13,160, 13,180, right around here. That would make a lot of sense to me. If we do a little break and retest of yesterday's lows and then move into this 13,180, definitely something I'm watching. Not sure that's going to happen today, but that is a move that I am sort of eyeing to see if we retest these lows right here. All right. ES. I think it makes a whole lot of sense if the ES trades into 4160. If we look at this hourly chart, if we do not hold this 4176 yesterday's lows here, I think it's going to be a pretty quick move into 4160. Just judging by this hourly chart, right? If you look at this hourly chart, look at the action between 4160 and 4175. So if we are to break under 4175, 4176, I think you had a pretty nice 15-point downside here on the ES into 4160, which is this previous high, and I think that's probably, right, that makes a lot of sense, right? If you can maybe pull back to this, maybe you set up a little flag formation here, right? And then you start, maybe you can see that upside again, right? That's a clean market move. That's a market move that we see a lot, right? Big breakout, flag to the downside, back into demand, right? And then another push to the upside, right? That is a pretty common market move and something that should absolutely be on watch. That is very common to see, right? Something like this, we pull back to the breakout point, retest it, hold 4160, maybe see another upside move. You know, that's sort of what I'm just sort of potential scenarios that I keep in my mind. So 4176, if I go down to the 15-minute, you're going to see here, 15-minute chart on the ES. We couldn't break 4200 yesterday. We came back down to 4176, held it here, held it on Friday, and we're holding it again here in the pre-market. If we break this, I think you got some nice downside into 4160. If we hold 4176, you might just trade within this channel again today. So 4200, 4175, 4176, 4160. SPY, 417 was the level, right? Very clear, very easy to see. If we go to the 30-minute, you guys can see right here, 417 equals 4200. Same story as yesterday. We talked about that 417 rejection. Came in very nice. Demand is stepping up around 414.50, 415. It's about a 50-cent range here. So if we drop below 414.50, then I think you have your move into 413. So 414.50 into 413 is the same thing as 4176 into 4160 on the ES. All right, there's your SPY. If I go down to the 15-minute chart, I think if you drop this low here, these wick lows around 414.50, then I think you could possibly see, right, that move into 413. That would be a retest of this previous high right here, right here at 413. I think that's very possible. So something I will be watching out for there. So here's your rejection yesterday at 417. It's very clear, right? Your demand is at 414.50 to 415. Watch this as demand. Be careful shorting in this demand. I would wait for this low to break. Before getting in short. It's very possible that the SPY bounces off demand again back into 417. All right. What did I want to go over here? There was something I wanted to go over. Was it on the ES? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I want to just go over... I want to quickly sort of run through what you saw yesterday and how you need to avoid this, right? You need to avoid this. And this is called a liquidity grab, right? This is traders that have little to no self-control, to be quite honest, that are just trading, breakouts, right? Maybe they caught 6 points here on the ES. Fantastic, right? Great. Good for you. But this is a classic liquidity grab. This is something you will see a lot, right? 4,200 was the supply coming into yesterday that everyone was watching. This was the downside that we caught in the group with some SPY puts. This original 4,200 rejection, this was pretty nice. Sort of got about, I think I got about 30% on this move. Came back into it. This attempt, right, you squeeze right over it. Now, for me, when I see something like this, I need to see a very strong retest, and I need to see a little bit of upside start to come in. I need to start seeing some strength building at that level, right? And if I go to this 5-minute chart, these candles need to be read in the heat of the moment, right? These are the candles that you need to learn to read in the heat of the moment. I know it's not easy. It's something that we have to continue to work on and gain experience doing. But these candles right here do not induce confidence, right? This is not confident upside, candle action. You can see ugly wick, ugly wick, ugly wick, ugly wick, ugly wick, right? That is not confidence to the upside. So there was not a single point yesterday where you should have went long over 4,200, in my opinion. After seeing the break, even after the break and retest, there was really not a confident hold, a confident wick, right? These are very ugly wicks to the upside. I know it's easy to talk about this in hindsight. I'm very aware of this, right? If that's what's in your mind right now, well, he's just talking about it in hindsight. I get it, all right? I get it. But we have to at least look back at these actions, look back at this price action, and really pay attention to what sort of set up here. So these candles, not good, right? You can clearly see the upside tails that we do not want to be a part of. What this means is that every attempt higher was sold into. Every attempt higher sold into. An attempt higher sold into, right? And then this is sort of the nail in the coffin candle right here. And then after this break under 4,200, look at what happened here. Now this, right? This is that insight to potentially go short here, right? You can see we broke back below 4,200, our key rejection level. And then look at these candles, right? Look at these candles here, under 4,200. Major rejection, rejection of 4,200. And then this candle right here sort of breaks that bear flag, right? This candle right here breaks that bear flag, short there, right? That's a beautiful play. So this is just a classic liquidity grab, right? This is something that you will experience trading. Don't be upset if you get faked out in this. This is designed to make you lose money. That is what this is designed to do. So if it happens to you, right, then, you gotta work on your patience, right? Maybe you say next time, I will not trade the breakout. I will not trade this until we very clearly see some upside. I am not going to be the one that gets caught in these fake moves. You just really need to have patience at these levels. Price action at major levels is very difficult. Price action at major levels is very difficult. It is designed to be difficult. This is a ton of orders, right? A ton of battle, right? This is not easy. It's very difficult to trade at these key levels. And that's why we have to be very patient. We can't trade breakouts, especially not in this market. So I just wanted to go over that. I just wanted to sort of outline what happened yesterday. Ugly, right? Ugly, and, just a good experience, right? A good learning experience. If you were there yesterday watching this, you gained some experience, right? So at least you learned that. All right, let's continue. Dow Jones, 4-hour chart. Yeah, just a clean rejection, right? Dow Jones, you guys can see right here. Just ugly supply above. Please do not go long into this level. 34,400, 34,600. You can clearly see whoever went long here lost money. Whoever went here lost money. Whoever went long here lost money. Whoever went long here lost money. Whoever went long here lost money. So are you going to go long here and lose money? I would surely hope not. So be careful of longing up here at 34,400. Just doesn't make sense in regards to risk to reward. To go long here in the Dow again, you either need a break and hold above the highs, right? Or you're going to need a retest of this 33,500 level, right? Those are the only two long entries here. You either look for a break and hold above this supply, or you look for a retest of demand. If you start going long here, it's just a totally backwards risk to reward. You're risking down to the demand and looking for reward up to supply. It's like a negative 3-to-1 risk reward. So don't really like the Dow to the upside here with this supply sitting. So watch out for that. 33,400 on the Dow. That's a very big level up there. Russell, just a channel trade. It's right in the middle of it. I would not touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. You're just guessing at this point. It's literally right at the 50% retracement of this channel. How do you know what's going to happen at the middle of a channel? You don't, right? You have no edge here. Your edge is here, and your edge is here, right? If you went long off demand, you killed it. I know a lot of you guys did, actually. I heard a lot of people reached out to me and said, I went long off that Russell demand low, and I killed it, and so congratulations, right? This is where you go long. If you went long last week off this level, congratulations. If you get a nice upside push into 1820, look to go short, right? But you have no edge trading this in the middle of a channel. So I'm not even going to look at it. All right. So hopefully that helps. Futures levels, very important. Please pay attention to them. They're just so crucial. They are so crucial. All right. Let's continue. Tesla. Interesting. Definitely not something I'm going to trade, but interesting. And here is why, right? This is a pretty interesting little inverse head and shoulder on Tesla. Is it going to actually set up to an amount to anything? I have no idea. I really don't trade off this stuff, but I know a lot of people out there are going to be watching this inverse head and shoulder that is potentially setting up. You guys can see it right here. Left shoulder, right shoulder, head. This is a potential bottoming formation. Hey, you know, it's there. Am I just going to say I'm buying calls today because of the inverse head and shoulder? Hell no, right? That's not how you trade. We're not going to just be buying calls because there's an inverse head and shoulder on the chart. But, all right, we at least want to pay attention to it. We want to remember it, right? If this does start to set up, if we start to get a move over 163, if we get a move over 166, then we probably should say, hey, this is a nice bottoming formation. We're starting to see some upside. This could continue. But I'm not going to just be buying calls here because of that. But at least we need to pay attention to it. Hourly chart. Actually, I want to go 30-minute. Here's your 30-minute chart. And the key to watch today is how 163 and 160 react. 160.50 and 163. That is the channel that you're currently stuck in. So yesterday we dropped under 163, retested it, rejected it. We held this 160.60 area, and we're holding it still. But this could be another rejection of 163. So watch 163 today. That's a very major rejection point. If we reject that level again, look for downside. If I go to the 15-minute chart, here's your demand that stepped in yesterday and is stepping in again in the pre-market. So you can see right here, previous highs, right? Previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, right? So previous highs, lows, 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 160.60. So I would not short Tesla into this level because you can clearly see what happened. If you shorted Tesla into this level yesterday, there was one opportunity out of like 3 attempts. So I would not be shorting Tesla into 160.50, 160.60. You can clearly see the demand here. If you get another push into 163, you could look for that rejection, right? You could look for that supply rejection. If you regain 163 today and you start to hold above it, that may start to formulate that inverse head and shoulder. I don't think that's going to happen before FOMC tomorrow, but, you know, at least something to watch. 163, 160.50. I'm going to bring this down to 160.50 because I really don't like seeing 160.60. It just doesn't make sense. I like those whole numbers. 160.50 to 163. That's your channel. That's what I'd be watching today on Tesla. You could be sort of, you know, flagging or having this little wedge formation, this little triangle formation, maybe for a breakdown at 163. I think you just watch the supply and demand today. 163, 160.50. See which side that moves. Keep that inverse head and shoulder in mind, though. All right, Nvidia. Yeah, I mean, a monster breakout. And was there a chance on the 280 retest? No, there never was an opportunity here. Yes, you could have just sort of said, I'm long over 280 and I'm going to have a stop under it. Yeah, there's definitely some trading opportunities here. Did I miss it? Absolutely. Do I own 100 shares of Nvidia at 140? Absolutely, I sure do. So I am still absolutely happy about this upside move from yesterday. Big breakout over 280. If we go to the 4-hour chart now, right, you can see this needs a retest of 280. And that is my wholehearted opinion, and I will not trade upside until that happens. That is how I trade, right? I am not going to trade Nvidia to the upside until we get a nice, sexy retest here, because I know anyone that sort of chases this will probably end up losing, and I know that if all the people that bought up here start to sell their positions, and I start to pick up some options here at 280, all right, I'm going to see if we can get that break and retest. So I'm going to wait for the 280 retest for longs, right? That is absolutely what I want to be looking for. That's what I'm waiting for. I don't care if it continues higher. I don't care if I miss out on it. That is what I want to see, right? That is my trading strategy. That is what I need to stick to. I can't be like, oh my God, Nvidia broke out. I need to chase this thing, right? I'm going to break my rules. I'm going to break my strategy because Nvidia broke out yesterday. No, right? We got to stick to what we know. We got to stick to our strategy. For me, I want to see the pullback. I want to see us retest these previous highs, and I want to see us continue off that level, right? That's what I'm looking for. So that's that, right? That's the bullish setup that I'd like to see. Now, if we go to the weekly chart, this is very interesting, right? This is the weekly chart on Nvidia. And yeah, we're pretty close to all-time highs. All-time highs are just about 16% away on Nvidia. Pretty crazy to see. Now, the level that we need to be paying attention to here is this weekly high, which was a major rejection on Nvidia. I mean, this rejection went down 52%. This is the exact high of this week is 289.46, right? 289.46 is the exact high of this weekly high right here. 289.46. Now, 5-minute chart. This is pretty much, give or take, the exact level that Nvidia stalled out at yesterday intraday. So, are you going to long Nvidia after a huge breakout into a major weekly rejection? I just can't get behind that, right? I just can't get behind that. If you get a break back above that level, right, and you really hold on to it, if you really get a break, you really hold on to this, and you start to build above, then yeah, I could get behind that, right? I could get behind that. But until this shows, if you can really hold above yesterday's highs, really hold above this weekly high, if you don't do that, be very careful looking for more upside today. That is a major weekly rejection point, right? This is no joke. This is a major weekly rejection point here. 289.46 is the exact high here. This is on March 28th of 2022. That's the week of March 28th. So watch that. If you are so desiring to look for bounces today on Nvidia, which is very possible still, right? Intraday, I would just look at yesterday's. Yesterday's levels. So really, the pullback would be maybe back into this previous high around 286, right in here. Right in this level here would be maybe a potential hold, 286, right? If you get under that, you can look for that move into 284. If you break under this 284 shelf, then you're probably moving down into the 280s, right? If you start to give back some of these pullback levels, so I would watch this 286, I would watch this 284, 285 area, and then if you break that, I mean, you're pretty much got, nothing there. So look at that volume too. The volume on Nvidia, on where? Yeah, I mean, it's just the first. I don't which volume, Chef. The volume definitely increased on this downside. But yeah, big. Yeah, I mean, volume yesterday was big for sure, right? Some big volume yesterday. I think that's probably what you meant. Yeah, definitely increase in volume. A lot of people sort of longing this thing. Nice move. Killer move. Killer move. But watch out for that weekly high, all right? Meta. So, Meta, nice push. Meta, nice push yesterday to end the day. And, I mean, a sick hold of the previous day lows. Yeah, this was a sick hold. So, you guys can see we had this demand stepped up, or set up here on the charts. Missed this one yesterday. Was sort of, I wasn't really trading at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, as this thing was sort of holding this low. But a sick hold of this low, right? This is Friday's lows. This is yesterday's lows. Very nice hold here on Meta, right? Very nice. Interesting, right? You can see if we continue to consolidate this low, we got that nice push above. This is the previous high, right, at 242. Previous high, 242. Very nice. Now, if we turn this 242 into a new support, which we did yesterday, right? Look at this pullback on Meta yesterday. Look at this pullback right here. We had a breakout, we had a pullback, we held it, and we held right at the previous high here, right? Previous high. We broke, we held, we pushed again. As of this morning, we are still holding above. If Meta maintains this 242 level, right? If Meta maintains this 242 level, you might get another push here. This is a break and retest of the previous highs. So I would watch Meta today. I would watch Meta to hold the previous high here. If it does, I would look for that upside continuation. This is a nice setup. Very clean setup. If it breaks back below this 241.15, right? If it breaks back below, I would say this yesterday low right here. Zoom back in. If you break back below this low right here, I would say this move is over, right? I think it needs to hold at the very least this low from yesterday intraday around 241 area. If you break that, momentum's probably lost. But if we hold above this 242 and we go to the daily chart, that could set us up, right? That could very much set us up for a push into 248, which is the gap, right? This is that major gap from earnings in 2022, February 2022. That is a gap from 250-ish, 248 to 320. So that is a 70-point gap on Meta. And if we hold 242, this is definitely interesting, man. This is definitely interesting. So 242, 248. 248 is the exact high of this candle right here. If we zoom in on this candle, the exact high of this candle after the gap was 248 on the dot. No sense, just 248. So today, right, I am watching to see if Meta holds 242. And if it does, we got 248. Not that far away up here. Something to watch out for. Interesting stuff. Netflix. So Netflix basically traded within this channel, not just, in a week. It traded between the channel in a single day. So yesterday we went from the top of the channel to the bottom of the channel. We bounced off the bottom of the channel all within one day. This was a crazy aggressive downside move. And this is an example of no matter how strong a downside move may be, you still have to respect the channel, right? Look at this disgusting flush on Netflix yesterday. I mean, a total just dumping of Netflix yesterday. And no matter how strong this was, right, look at how perfect that demand stepped up again at 318. Crazy, like right on the dot. So huge downside off the supply. Very systematic buying, right? Look at these candles. Very weird, sort of systematic buying off that 318. So 318, 330. You're right in the middle of the channel, but I can tell, right? Netflix is going to get pretty nasty on one of the sides of this channel. I think Netflix is going to get pretty nasty on either side of this channel. So this is definitely something I'm watching. If Netflix breaks above this 330, I think it could definitely squeeze. If Netflix flushes below this 318, I think it could definitely tank. So definitely watching either side. As of right now, it's definitely stuck in this channel between 330 and 318. But I have my alerts set. You can see them on the screen. I got my alerts here. I got my alerts here. I'm waiting for that thing to break either side. But watch this 318 to 330 channel. Very interesting on Netflix. Amazon. So crazy weak move on Amazon yesterday. If we go to the hourly chart and we sort of get this scaled correctly, you guys can see yesterday we broke this uptrend on Amazon and it sort of lined up perfectly with the break of 105. So we talked about this yesterday. We talked exactly about this yesterday. We said 105 is a key level. It will present opportunity, right? And so yesterday we broke under 105. We retested 105, and we had a fantastic slip to the downside. So really nice play there. Congrats if you caught this one. Nice upside, right? Nice uptrend that was broken yesterday on the 105 break. I think that really accelerated the downside move. Today, what I would be looking for, let me zoom back in here. Today, I need to get a little bit more time on the chart here. 1 second. I would be looking for a retest of this Tuesday low right here. I would be looking for a retest of this Tuesday low. If we retest this Tuesday low, I would look for a rejection play off this 102.50 level. That is something I'll be watching today. I'll be looking to see if this 101 demand steps up on Amazon. If we get a pop into 102.50, maybe even 103, I'll sort of give it that 50-cent range. Between 102.50 and 103, I will look to see if we get a retest of this previous low, right? And then turn that into another rejection. Definitely something that I'll be watching on Amazon today. For all the fib boys out there, let's see what the fib retracement is. That is about a 50% retracement on the fib. For all the fib boys. So look for that 50% retracement. I'm looking for it back into like 103, 102.50 for another fade. That's sort of the idea I have here. That's what I'm going to be watching on Amazon. All right. Google. This is another one that I need to keep my eyes out for. This is another one I have alerts set for because I know, fib boys, I know that Google will move out of this channel, right? I know eventually Google will have a very nice move outside of this tight consolidation channel, but I don't want to lose track of it, right? I don't want to lose track of this because I know it's here. I know it can definitely move outside of this channel, so I need to wait and see which side it breaks, but I need to have my alert set because if we break and hold above 109, right, I think there can be a nice upside continuation, and if we break and hold below this 107, I think there can be a nice downside continuation. I really don't have interest in Google within this channel, but I know that if we can break outside of it, there could be some opportunity. So if I zoom out here, right, Google's sort of sitting right at the top of this supply at 109. Does this ultimately reject? If it does, right, I could look for that downside under 107, and I know there could be some opportunity. So 107, 109, definitely a channel to be watching here on Google. Just waiting for one of those sides to break to make my decision. But I would pay attention to this. All right. Yeah, Tesla's holding that 160. Nice demand hold again. Watch out for 163. Watch out for 163. Apple. This is interesting. Right? This is very interesting. This is a very strange price action into earnings. So this is called an ascending triangle. Not that I give a shit, honestly, but that's what this is. I'll pull it up for you. This is an ascending triangle, right? You can see right here. You got your flat, you got your uptrending, you got your rising lower trend line, consolidation, flat upper trend line, right? This is the TikTok that you see. It's like, and they think that you can just trade doing that. Yeah, sure, right? Sure. Look for this 170 level. And obviously, Apple has earnings tomorrow, so am I going to recommend that you even try to trade this today? No. But this is interesting. Watch the 170 level. Maybe there's something here at 170 before earnings. Maybe there's something on this, after FOMC tomorrow that we can catch. But either way, this is a very interesting chart here on Apple. Either a 170 break and hold, or you can even look for this flush of the uptrend. Right? Interesting stuff. So 170 uptrend. Watch this on Apple. It's getting real tight here. Right? There's probably going to be a move here, either today or I would assume definitely tomorrow. There's going to be a move outside of this little consolidation here. So interesting watch there. All right. let's go to the tickers that you guys want to go to. But before we do that, I'm either gonna run an ad right now because I have the ability to do that, or can we get some likes? All right, I think I'm gonna start utilizing this ad, little insert ad, bam, right in the live stream. I got a button right here. Look at this, right there, insert ad, bam. Or can we get some likes? Let's get some likes. I'd rather just get some likes and continue. All right, I'm just kidding, guys, but I appreciate if you guys could press the like button. That'd be great. Let's go here. So Microsoft, we already went over Apple. So Microsoft, MU, you want to look at the BAM rejection. Boeing. Last time you did that, viewers tanked. Well, tank them. Tank them. Crocs. Steven, really? We really looking at Crocs right now? Shop. Vince learned how to blackmail us. Crocs, huh? Yeah, AMD we should look at. All right. Let's continue. JP Morgan, we got to go speed round. Here we go. Peloton, I'm not looking at Peloton, Josh. JP Morgan, we talked about this 145 supply. I would not long JP Morgan into this level. This is the exact level we talked about yesterday on the live stream. This is a major supply up here at 145, 146. So be careful of that. That's what I would watch out for. Microsoft. Did we not talk about Microsoft? I guess not. I thought we did. Huh. Yeah, Microsoft looks like Meta. We're holding that 305.50 level, right? If we continue to hold this, I would look for that upside push, except you can clearly see supplies at 308. So 305.50 to 308. Watch this consolidation on Microsoft. This is very similar to Meta. So Microsoft, Meta, similar consolidations above previous highs. MU, BAM rejection. We talked about this one yesterday. You guys can see we're starting to potentially see that rejection come in. You're not going to long into a previous, I don't even know how many times this rejected, but you're not going to long up here, right? Doesn't make any sense. Boeing. Just in a tight consolidation range, guys. There's nothing to see here. There's absolutely nothing to see here. You have to wait for either this or this. If you trade here, you are going to lose money. You need to wait for this rejection or this demand hold or the break of the channel. If you try to trade in the middle of these channels, you are going to lose money. If you told me, right, if I asked you on the 24th of April, and I said, guess what the next 5 days happens on Boeing? What your guess would have been red, green, red, right? How do you have any edge in the middle of this channel? How do you know how do you have any edge on what Boeing is going to do next if you are trading in the middle of this channel? All right, you got to stay away from stocks that are in the middle of channels. It's a waste of your time. Crocs, I don't know, man. Crocs is Crocs. I mean, if you're wearing Crocs, I mean, maybe watch this 110, right? Maybe watch this 110. Looks like we got a little chart over here from back in November. This hasn't. This shows you the last time I looked at Crocs was back in November of last year. But yeah, I would maybe watch that 110. Shop. 46.50. Yeah, 46.50 is major. Right here. These lows, right? These highs, these lows, right? 46.50. Watch that area. N-phase and then AMD, and we're out of here. Wow, N-phase is still going lower. I was actually, damn it, I was going to watch this one yesterday. Yeah, I missed this. I was going to look to fade this move off this. You can see I sort of had it set up. I was going to fade this move off 167. Huh. That was a nice little fade, right? 167 supply, clear as day up here. Watch out for that. This looks like it could definitely continue lower. I would say 160. 160 might have some influence. Watch 160. But I would rather be short off this 167 high. Last one I got for you is AMD. Yesterday, AMD rejected 9150 absolutely beautifully. We caught this thing really nicely in the chat. Rejection. We popped into it in the pre-market, right? You can see right here, and look at that rejection. That was money. Money. Really nice upside move in the pre-market. You don't trust that pre-market right into supply, right? And then look at that money rejection right there. Why did we play that rejection? Well, you can see it right here. Rejection. You're not going to long into a double top, right? It makes no sense. So, awesome rejection. You're back at demand. So watch out for this 88.60 to 91.50. That's your channel for now. If we go to that 4-hour chart and we look at that flag, right, you're still within the flag. So be careful. Be careful longing into that 92 area. All right, that's all I got. Whoa, we almost got 1,000 likes. You guys are awesome. Hell yeah. Thank you guys. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, if you want to stay tuned, we do this every single day, starting at 8 a.m. in the pre-market. Prepare you for the day. If you want to stick around, press that subscribe button down below. Press the bell notification, the little notification bell, so that you know when I go live. Press the like button if you could. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Be safe out there. Be careful before FOMC. Don't expect any type of major moves before major economic events. Take your profits when you get them. That's about it. Can't say go Rangers because they suck. I can say go Knicks, go Mets, and go Max Verstappen. All right, guys. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.